From our audience feedback, we had mixed reviews. Some people liked our use of sound, some people didn't. Some people liked our shortcuts, others didn't.
I really liked the quick cuts on the trailer and also the use of camera shots.
I really liked the titles and the way it was integrated with the rest of the trailer.
But the majority of people said that they liked the theme of the drugs and that it related to our age group and they would actually go and see our film.
I really liked the use of sound and the fact that the film was really relevant to my age group.
Yeah, adding on from what Bianca said, when it came to stuff like sound though, we had quite a few people that were saying that they weren't too keen on the way that we mixed it.
I think the music could have been mixed a little bit better.
I thought it was good, but sometimes the sound was a bit hard to hear, like Ellen talking. But I think it still worked quite well, regardless.
The only thing that could be improved is probably I couldn't really hear the actor speak sometimes, but the music was a bit too loud sometimes. But it's really good overall, honeys.
And then when we were talking about the shots, a reoccurring thing that people were saying is that some of the shots were grainy.
Okay, first I'd like to say the trailer was really good, but some of the handheld shots were a bit grainy.
But then after we explained to them that that was the effect that we wanted to create for the handheld shots, they sort of understood it. But I think from our audience feedback, we have learned quite a bit, because I think when it comes to us making the film, we sort of knew what we wanted it to look like. So when we watched it, it all made perfect sense to us. Whereas when we gave it to people who didn't know anything about the film and didn't know our process, they sort of had, I don't know how to explain it, like, what I mean is, to us, it all made perfect sense. Like, everything made perfect sense. Like, the reason why we had the shots grainy, the reason why we didn't really mix the sound well just because we couldn't mix it well, but our choice of sound and our choice of like grainy shots and stuff like that, that was what we wanted. But then after listening to our audience feedback, we sort of realised that we didn't make it clear enough to the audience why we wanted it to look that way. And I think after our feedback, we've really learnt from that. So in the future, I think we'll really focus on our audience intention, because I don't really think we focused on it as much as we could have. We did have quite a lot of positive things that were said by people, because overall they said that they did like the themes. There was a couple of mentioning of skins, which we were quite happy with.
I really liked the edgy storyline. That was quite good.
I really liked the trailer, how it related to other popular TV dramas such as Skins.
Because
that was our main
yeah,
inspiration that we wanted to achieve something similar to.
We didn't have that many mentions of Project X. I was quite happy about that, actually.
Yeah, we didn't really want it to look like we'd copied Project X, and no one really made the link towards it.
I was actually really glad about that, because I was quite worried that people were going to be like, oh, you've copied. Because with our titles, we did do very, very similar, well, pretty much the same title, we copied the wording.
If we were to redo this project, we now know from our audience feedback what to do, what not to do. As Claire was saying about the grainy shots, we wanted them to look quite vintage, and because we were doing like handheld camera of them filming their own journey, we wanted other people to sort of get that, and from our feedback, people didn't really understand that. So if we were to actually improve this whole trailer, we would have to make them a lot better.
And also, when it came to the sound, I was actually quite glad that people noticed that the sound like mixing wasn't that good, because that was something that we really, even though like obviously we worked really, really hard on it, and a part of us didn't want the audience to notice that. In a way, I'm kind of glad that they did, because at the end of the day, it was a fault that we noticed as well. So it was kind of comforting, if that's the right word to use, that the audience had sort of, you know what I mean? It was kind of comforting that the audience had sort of identified that as well. And I'm glad that they didn't say that some of the stuff that we thought was really good that was really, really bad. Okay, so when it comes to our survey, we didn't actually get any feedback on our survey. First, I just thought that I'd forgotten my login, but then when I logged in at home, I found that we hadn't been left any feedback, which I wasn't very happy with, but we did get some feedback from Facebook, which I'll be able to insert here. And we had quite a few questions about our tracks and stuff like that we used, which we were quite happy with, because obviously it took us quite a long time. But a lot of the people said that it was really good, well put together. Our parents liked it, if that's a thing to add in.
Yeah, my mum made quite a good point that on our YouTube, when we uploaded it to YouTube, we got 1 like and 1 dislike. and I think the dislike came from the fact that we was not advertising drugs but sort of showing the effects of drugs, but we weren't making them look good because our storyline was the fact that they'd taken drugs and then they all go missing, and that was the whole point of it. So it's sort of showing that they're not advertised well, and then I think the fact that we got 1 like and 1 dislike sort of weighed it up and made it more interesting that people were thinking different things.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So yeah, YouTube feedback as well.
Yeah, I like the YouTube feedback, and something that we were really shocked with was the amount of views that we got, because obviously,
Like 300.
yeah, with our media AS ones, well, we were in separate groups. Mine last year I got 40, not even an exaggeration. I got hardly any views, and I'd posted it quite a few places, but with this one we'd only put it on both of our Facebooks, and we ended up getting like 300, 400 views or something like that, which we were really impressed with, and obviously it showed the word of mouth made it travel.
And they were from all over the world.
When we looked at our blog feedback and we went on the little thing, we looked at the viewing, like how many people had been on it and where they were from. We had views from like all over the world. Some people were commenting on the themes and issues, and we're glad that people picked up on that as well. Because
What do you like about our trailer?
I really like the theme of drugs.
I liked the mise en scène of the trailer. I thought it was really good. Like, it fitted with the genre, like Skin's kind of like costume and stuff. Really like that.
because that's what we wanted to get across. So obviously, as Bianca said earlier, the themes of drugs, the themes of like parties and all this kind of stuff. We're really glad that people clocked onto that. It was just really nice getting audience feedback, and people were saying, yeah, we'd actually go and watch it. We thought it was really good because obviously we put a lot of work into it. So getting a majority of positive feedback was great, considering they hadn't seen our process or anything like that. But yeah, we'll include all the clips that they said now. So you can...
I thought the editing was very good. They used iMovie very well, and they used all the tools at their expense very well, I think, yeah. Titles in some places maybe could have, but they were still decent, but they could have been refined, I think, a little bit.
Okay.
My favourite part about your trailer was your use of the static TV shots. They made a nice effect to your trailer.
I liked the boot shot. I think it was a point of view one. I think some of the shots could be improved because they're a little bit grainy, like the handheld ones.
Thanks for watching our trailer. Thanks for watching our evaluation. You've been brilliant.
Hold on, wait.
Stay cool. Hashtag
BC Media.